You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And yesterday I was, actually for the past few days, I've been speaking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, what Elon Musk did. I touched on last week, and the week before, what the Reddit trade. All right, everyone was jumping on that bandwagon. They were trying to take on the hedge funds and going and getting involved in that. You had, companies like Gamestop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, and other stocks that went to, they shot up. They shot up not by 100%. By hundreds of percentage points. They went up tremendously. But what wound up happening is, as everyone was alluding to and warning about, that it's going to come in. It's going to come in because, the shorts, you get that short squeeze, but you're going to have more shorts. And until these rules change, this is what's going to wind up happening. So you have people that probably got stuck in the stock at 300, 350, okay, 250. The stock right now, GameStop, went as low as, I think, 40 something. Look, the reality is with that company, if they get out of their own way, they could be, the value can be more than what it is. I look back at Blockbuster and Netflix. If they don't transition to digital and stay in that space, then there will be a dinosaur. They'll be, going along the lines of Blockbuster. So, let's see what happens there. And there are other things that happen, with the Wall Street bets, the Reddit trade, what they're doing. They were, you had people that were trying to push up silver, which they did. You had money coming in, but here goes the deal, guys, with that. And I said it. You're talking about a commodity. You're talking about a different animal altogether. And, silver is only, worth so much, and it's still too high. I said it before, 16, 17 bucks. Yeah, even with inflation and everything else, I think that's where, it just probably should be. It's not that rare of a commodity, not that rare of a precious metal. So, but anyway, the Reddit group, we'll call them the Reddit group, they are going from sector to sector, area to area, and it looks like they're targeting areas that may have a big short position. Now they're in the cannabis space, and they're doing that. What's happening, these cannabis stocks, Tilray, Aurora, a few other ones. Let me see, Sundial, MedMem, these come, those are smaller companies. That's why I don't know the name. They were penny stocks pretty much. The other ones, Tilray, Aurora, and a few others, they wound up, going up 50, 100%. But the thing is that it's going to be short-lived. The short position is going to come in until they change these rules. You can go in there with the retail strength, but you can have the institutional strength that's going to just be waiting, for it to be pushed up, and then they're going to come in and boom, and lower the boom. Okay, so you're going to see these stocks come in too. You're going to see them come in. Watch, they're going to follow along the lines of GameStop, everything else, because what winds up happening, people are buying it, they're bringing it up, they're buying it, they're getting involved, they're doing that stuff, and then all of a sudden, how much buying are they going to be able to do? Institutions, if you don't have the capital reserves, you can't go and fight with these guys, so they can go and combine their resources and really get things going. And I'm sure that's going to happen here because they see the opportunity. The retail investor, the little guy, as they allude to it, is going to wind up, paying the price in the end. People are going to get stuck in it. And I was talking about crypto. Bitcoin, if you look at the history of it, it's interesting. It wasn't the first crypto ever, but it was the most popular, the one that actually opened up the doors for everything else. You had, the volatility of it is ridiculous, going up, going down, because it's new. It's new. People don't know what to do with it yet. They see the value. It's a store of value. They see a utility with it, but they don't know what to do with it yet. So I think that's going to come about. Elon Musk, he did something. A few other companies did it too. He's not the only one. A few other companies made heavy investments into Bitcoin, but not as a trade. They did it as a store of value, holding it on their balance sheets. And I'm thinking that all these companies are trying to figure out how to go and accept Bitcoin as they accept cash for their products. Smart move. That creates a utility, that creates a value, and them keeping that on their balance sheet. They can wind up paying out in Bitcoin, so it becomes a currency, a form of payment for them. So that's going to be interesting. So you have to look for these cryptos that have the value, they have the utility. The pricing and everything is irrelevant. It's the utility. Funny thing, you had people on Elon Musk, even, and Snoop Dogg, and everyone going out there and say, pushing that doggy dodgy, I call it the dodgy coin. When they created that, look, that was a joke when they did it. It wasn't meant to do anything, but people started trading it. So now what? It went from 0.0001 to what? 7 cents now. And what's going to happen? Just like with GameStop and everything else, people don't learn, so you're going to get stuck. That's like, you're rolling the dice, because that has no utility. Probably never going to have a utility. I don't know how they're going to, have a utility for it. At least you got XRP, there's a utility there for what they're doing. Now, that's a different animal altogether. I had mentioned that, decentralized, centralized, it doesn't much matter which one it is. It all depends on the utility and what it's being used for. If you have a centralized digital asset and it's being used for something, or you're accepting payments, or it's part of something, it becomes, a store of value. It becomes something real. If you don't incorporate, that's not incorporated into something that you can exchange goods for it at some point, then what is it? What is it for? You want the peer-to-peer aspect, but you want a little more. That's why PayPal and other banks, they're starting to accept it. This is why, Square, they made an investment in Bitcoin, same as Elon Musk did, and Tesla, and same as other companies have. And I guarantee you that the cannabis industry too is no different. They're probably trying to, do that as well, so that they can go and be prepared for what the next phase is going to be. Now, when you have these digital assets that you see out there that are based on a stock, that's when it gets a little dodgy, because now you're circumventing, the rules and regulations, the laws that are out there. They're there for a reason, to protect investors. But having the ability to utilize the digital assets to acquire stock, acquire products, acquire merchandise, that's a different animal altogether. Okay, so the coins that are adopted a little bit to go and be in that world and be able to become more commercially accepted, then those are the ones that they're going to bring that value to you. As look, on Money Never Sleeps, we talk about all this stuff. I talk about all this stuff because it's important, and anyone out there that's listening, just be aware. Do your due diligence on what you're getting involved with, and don't follow the herd. You want to be a sheep. Sheep get slaughtered. Pigs get slaughtered. You want to go and be smart. You go out there. If you see a trading situation, you want to do it. You're looking for, look, you get involved in something, you hold it for a few days. If you get 20, 30, 40%, God bless you. You did well. But you get greedy. That's when you start paying a price. That's when you start going down the wrong road and you get stuck. Look at the people that got greedy. Look at the people that came in at the tail end of the wave when the tide was going out on GameStop, AMC, and all these other stocks that dropped 50%, from their highs. From their highs, they went down below what it started out at. AMC, I'm still looking for that thing to go to $1, but with AMC, that stock, once they get ramped up again, if they survive, this push up, I guarantee you put money in the bank for them. So they will survive, and they will get everything going, and come 2022, they'll be flowing again. So those that, if you look at it, in my opinion, when it starts dropping down, because it will, because the quarters are going to come in. They may even stop reporting the quarters because it's going to look ridiculous. They're going to be making less as a company. They're going to be making less than your corner grocery store. So basically, you're going to see. You can probably see it come in, and if it does, there's an opportunity there. Again, going on the crypto space, be careful. Just understand what you're getting involved with. Look for the utility. Look for the store of value. And now they're changing the rules so you can actually keep it on your books and so on and so forth for companies, which is not a bad idea. Keeping the crypto assets on your books is an intangible asset. It stays on there, and even if they give you a haircut of 50%, still it's something that's there. And if there's going to be utility for it within your business, then it can be something great longer term, and you can create something really fantastic with it. Now going with the cannabis stocks, again, don't believe the hype. Don't chase these things, until the time comes that you have federal regulation in there that loosens up, that allows them to go and do more than what they're doing. You wind up fighting a losing battle, especially if because these companies, and I'll give you a little history. Colorado, when they started adopting and passed the laws that companies can do a thing. First, they gave a few companies, they let them do it, and then when they started adding more, those first companies, their margins were ridiculous. They were making money. There was no competition. They can charge more. As more companies came in, supply and demand, what happens? The price comes down. Now, instead of the consumer having to go spend more, they're spending less, and they're getting the product, taking the product off the street, putting it in the dispensaries and so on and so forth. So, you're going to see a big transition because it costs money to grow this stuff. They have high-tech hydroponics and all this other stuff that's going on. I've seen it. It's an incredible system, and the security system that goes with it too. That's one thing. The security. You have some high-tech, NSA level security, military-grade security that goes into these places. Because you're talking about millions and millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars of product that's just sitting there. Someone can come steal it, whatever. And, a lot of these companies deal with cash. So, all this stuff comes into play. Anyway, what I'm looking to do with Money Never Sleeps, I want to bring some guests on. I want to talk about crypto. I want to talk about micro and macro economics, and I want to talk about what's going on a micro level in the stock market, macro level in globally, how it's affecting governments and so on and so forth. So anyone that actually has some input with this. Okay, not anyone, but of course, you have to be in the industry to be able to share your viewpoint. But feel free to reach out. You can reach out on Twitter, and I'm sure to respond if it's something that we can get done. All right. Anyway, on that note, that's it for today. I'll be back with you with some more thoughts and everything on Money Never Sleeps, and we're going to be really ramping up the show a little bit, trying to add more value for you guys. And as you see, before I let you go, I want to talk about something. Okay, you have a lot of platforms out there Not a lot. You have, a decent. Well, you have platforms out there that have video conferencing and so on and so forth, and they have studios, and that you can go and do what I'm doing right now. Right, I'm actually recording and doing a show which can be live if I wanted to. It can be anything I want it to be. When you're looking at these platforms, you have companies out there, like let's say a Zoom. Okay, they're innovative with some things, but not with others. The security leaves a lot to be desired there, and there are a lot of things that really, I don't consider to be a benefit. Even though the stocks went through the roof, due to the pandemic, and they're doing other things. If you don't have privacy, security, true end-to-end encryption, things of that nature, is when things get problematic. You have other platforms, they come up with the pretty stuff, they put it out there. The bottom line is that they're building it on other companies' platforms like Google and AWS, and they're doing that. Problem with that, the moment, and this has to do with investors investing in these companies. Once you go and do that, if Google or Amazon, they change protocols or whatever, it can mess up that whole system, and then that is for them to come back from that, it could be difficult. Especially if the company stops, if they stop servicing it. Same thing with Microsoft. When they stop servicing their products because they take it off the shelf, there's no security. There's a lot of things that can go wrong there. So that's no different. That's why I do Money Never Sleeps in every one of my shows here on Vero Hive. This is where I do it, and we have more shows that are going to be coming on here. More people are going to be using it, because the platform itself has advanced blockchain involved in the end-to-end encryption. Makes it super safe. No one's jumping in the room. No one's going and interfering with things. You go into the reception area. What happens? You get some nice videos. You can listen to some music, check out your video, check out your camera, make sure everything's working. And there's going to be some other things that'll be popping up there, just to keep you entertained while you wait to get into a room. So that, when you have your meeting, get there a little early, you have some things to do, catch up on the news and things of that nature. And, it's helpful. It's helpful. And the security aspect and the privacy aspect is superb. So these are the things you need to think about. And, with Vero Hive, a lot of things that are going to be happening with the platform. It has a number of channels that are in development. And the cool thing is there's something that's going to be happening that I'm going to be able to share with you guys soon when it's ready, but it's in development. And it's going to allow for so much integration, so many things, and there's so many free features for a user to come and create their own show, do something like this. They can do it. They can go in town hall. They can have, group meetings, so on and so forth. And they get meetings, they can have recordings and things of that nature. So a lot of cool things happening here. And this is why this is my preferred place to do stuff. I've used Zoom before for, with other organizations. The bottom line is not my cup of tea, not my cup of tea. This is my cup of tea. VeroHive.com. Learn about it and find out what's going on. Now, that's it for Money Never Sleeps. I'll be back with you on the next episode of the show.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Louis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.